And now it's time for the latest exciting episode of Doz's Television Workshop.
Hello and welcome back to Doz's Television Workshop, where today I've got a little project on the go. This is related to the UHF power amplifier that I did a few weeks ago, and the experiments will be running with that. That'll be featuring in a forthcoming episode. So I need to power my amplifier. So to that end, I have procured these two X-Equipment Powerizer 12.8 volt, 9.9 ampere hour LiFePO4 rechargeable battery pack. We got two of those. I've got a little Pelly case, second hand again. It's all right. I've got a battery monitoring doohickey off of eBay and a few other bits and pieces, switches and plugs and things. So yeah, that's what I'm going to build. It's a little sort of portable power bank that'll give me damn near 20 ampere hours if these batteries are up to scratch. And that's the first thing we need to do. Because I need to put these two batteries in parallel, I need to make sure the terminal voltage is exactly the same. So otherwise, when say this battery's at 12.8 volts and this one's at 12.9, when we connect them together, this one will attempt to charge this one. There won't be any current limiting. So yeah, we just need to balance these up first in exactly the same manner as we did with the street lithium batteries that we made their little power banks out of. So same MO, just a bigger sort of job. LiFePO4 battery, it's quite a safe chemistry. It's not like a LiPo. So yeah, you can see these have got just banks of cells in there. So yeah, there is a warning on here. You must use the Powerizer Smart LiFePO4 battery charger. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to use the workshop power supply just to make sure they're sort of charged somewhere near. So first things first, I'm just going to remove this bit of insulation tape that's presumably been preventing fire from there. Oh, that's not very nice, is it? It's sort of somebody's cut a spade connector of some description down. I suspect it fitted into some sort of screw connector maybe. This one appears to have still got both connectors on it, but anyway, let's not worry about that. So let's have a little look at the voltage on here, and hopefully it's not disastrous. 13.32. So I think we could charge up to 13.6 volts for an LiFePO4. So that's 13.32. Okay, let's keep those two leads away from each other, otherwise there'll be one hell of a bang. Yeah, at least somebody made the effort, I suppose, to stop them shorting out when they were in transit to me. Right, what have we got on this one? 13.31. So actually we're pretty close. I was going to put them on a charger and just give them a little charge, but I think that's close enough that I can start the balancing process. So yeah, let's do that. So I don't think I want to be using sort of spade connectors like that. I think the easiest thing to do here is to actually use a Wago and couple them all together like that. It'd just be so simple, wouldn't it? So yeah, let's do that. I think these are the three-way ones, because that'll be handy, won't it? Because then when I've finally coupled all of the connectors together, I can have the two batteries and then an output to whatever I'm going to. So that makes sense. Or would it be better to have a five-way, because I've got battery monitoring and stuff to go in as well? Anyway, whatever, this'll do for now. So let me just cut that off there. little bit of strippage. Into my way you go. Same for this battery. As with all these things, the sort of slower you do this process, the better. So I'm just going to hook these up. Right, that's my 2 negative poles connected. And then we want a suitable resistor in there. So the larger the resistor in value, the better, because the slower the process occurs. These batteries do appear to be, quite a high. They haven't sort of self-discharged much, though they have been stored charged, which is perhaps not ideal. I'm just going to put a bit of blue tack there just to stop that moving about for a minute. So we need to just put a resistor in between those two. I can't remember the value I used to use on the little battery bank things, but I don't think it was very much. Was it 10 ohms or something? And being as the voltages are so well matched, let's go with something like that. What's that? 4.7 ohms. I just confirm that. It should be 4.7 ohms. There we go. So I'm just going to pop that across there and let these batteries reach equilibrium over a period of a while, some hours. So let's pop that back up there. 2 crocodile clips I think will do us, won't it? This is only a temporary process. This has only got to happen once, because once we've put the batteries in parallel, we are committed. So that's that one there. And that is that one there. And we should see a voltage difference across the resistor. So as current flows between the higher voltage battery and the lower voltage battery, it's not a fat lot, is it? It's about 6 millivolts. It's not a lot. I am, however, just going to leave that to happen for a little while. And yeah, I'll come back in a bit.
Many unbearable hours later.
Okay, I've dropped the value of this resistor down. I put 1.5 ohms in parallel with it, and I put a meter in series measuring current. This is milliamps, so we're at 0.6 of a milliamp. I'm just going to short that out and see what we get. Yeah, 0.8 of a milliamp. We're not going to do any harm with that. So as I discussed earlier, I'm actually going to put this into one of these 5-way way goes, just to give me a few options when putting the rest together. And then just cut these terminals off and connect those into another 5-way. Okay, that's my battery dealt with. So let's just have a look at this Pelly case. Yeah, it's going to do the job, I think. We shall mount the batteries in there. I shall pack them out a bit so they can't move around. But what I do need to do is cut a hole in there for my power monitor. Go in the side, sort of like that somewhere. I have got this, and whilst it would be useful, it's a bit big. I'm not sure I'm going to bother with that. It is a sort of USB kind of power thing. It is fairly flush mounted though. It could go somewhere else, couldn't it? And it just gives me if we can get it open. How does it open? Open. Oh, like that. It does give us 2 USB ports there to plug stuff into. Input 12 to 24 volts, output 5 volts DC. Might be a useful thing to have, mightn't it? I don't know, mounted on that side maybe. I'm not sure yet. What else have I got? I want a 4-pin XLR plug. And I know that sounds bizarre, but that actually is what my LiFePO charger has on it. So that can go in. So we've got battery monitor sort of in there like that. I haven't played with this yet. Let's just see what this does. Is that the extent of the plug? Okay. I'm not sure that Wago is going to be able to grip this thin wire. We shall try. What's the worst that can happen? Managed it. Always impressed with the Wago connectors. They really are very good. Okay, let's put that one in there. See what this looks like. 3L, 13.2 volts, 100%. Fair enough. And that's good because we can switch it off as well. Yeah, well, that's quite a good display, I think. I don't know how it's calibrated. It might be rubbish, but as long as I can keep an eye on the voltage. I wonder how accurate that voltage is. What does it say? 3.2. Let's have a little look. I did notice there's a small pot on the back, so maybe we can adjust it should the need arise, but let's have a little look. .32, so that could do with going up a bit. See if we can adjust it. There is, as I say, a little pot in the back there. Just get a better looking screwdriver, I think. 3.1, I'm going the wrong way. 3.2. .3. Yeah, that's ideal, I think. Right, okay. So we need to cut a hole in the side there to do that. And that means my dodgy mechanical engineering skills. Yeah, it's going to be horrible, isn't it? Right, let's get a pen or something just so I can mark that up. Something a bit like that. Okie dokie, and that is going to go in there. And I've also got a actually a speak-on connector that I'm going to put in there as well, because that's going to be my output to the amplifier. Nice, the speak-on connector. Great fan of those. So a little bit unconventional maybe, but a 2-pole speak-on I think would go in there well. Right, let's bodge some fittings together and make this so. Right.
Later that same evening.
Okay, after an hour and a bit of advanced levels of bodginometry, I've created that. I'm really pleased with how the SOP Nova capacity thing's gone in. This, not so much. Didn't quite manage to get that square. Not so much the Neutrik speak-on connector either, but yeah, that's fairly decent. I think it's functional, if nothing else, and that's all I need it to be, really. Next thing to do is to wire up these two sockets so they can drop into our Wago there, and yeah, just put it all together, really. One thing I do need to confirm is the wiring to the back of this XLR from my charger. So I'll go and get the charger in a second and just check the polarity. I'm fairly sure it's pin 1 ground and pin 4 is positive, but just need to make sure. Right, I've got a couple of fuse holders. I've salvaged these from when I used to do mobile radio work. They're just the inline off, I think, a Kenwood radio, but there we go. That's ideal. I know this one's black, but I'm going to stick it in the positive line to my Neutrik or whatever, or maybe that one. They're both going to be fused because I'm not going to put a diode or anything in there because it'll upset the charge voltage sensor. So yeah, I'm just going to fuse both sides there. You know, if I wanted to use the 4-pin connector as an output, I could do, and it's fused and everything's good. So yeah, let's go with that. The Neutrik connector is marked up plus minus. This one, as I surmised, it is pin 1 that's ground and pin 4 that's power. So I want pin 4 on there and the plus on there. I'm going to put a bit of heat shrink over that. So yeah, let's just get cracking with that. I want to tin that up a little bit. Oh, this yellow stuff is got everywhere. It's horrible. Where's my thick solder? There we go. Big chunky tip. Should make short work of that. There we go. Okay. Right. So I'm going to get a big bit of heat shrink on that. I don't want any possibility of this shorting out and spoiling our fun. Right. I have to say I don't like the connectors on this Neutrik connector. Looks a little bit flimsy to me. Maybe I'm just being harsh, but yeah, it doesn't look as robust as it could be. I mean, that connector's rated to 25 amps. Not sure I'd want to pull 25 amps down it for very long, but there we go. I suppose it was designed for a speaker, so at best it'll be an intermittent signal, but yeah. Do I really need that much wire on there? I don't really, do I? Let's make this a bit shorter. This, by the way, they're fitted with 15 amp fuses, so that should be perfect. That's better. That's lovely. Put that over there. Shrink that down. Nice. Same MO for the 4-pin socket. So that one has got to be on pin 4, which is that side there. Suppose we could use a bit of the same cable for our ground leads. May as well. We've got it out. And I've got plenty of it, and it's quality schmatter. Not going to want much, am I? There we go, that's made a neat job of that, I think. Okay, where's my bit of foam? I'm going to go and get some more foam, just to cushion the batteries when they're in. I don't think I'm going to bother with that USB thing, you know. I don't see the point. Right, so we need our 2 positives in there, our 2 negatives in there. This 5-pole Wago is just the job. There we go. I'm going to connect this into the module. There it is. And these 2 are positive, despite the fact this is black. There we go. That is pretty much it done. So yeah, we've got our display working there. Oh, I can peel the sticky doodah off it, couldn't I? Let me try and do that. Oh, you know what I'm like with sticky things. How much of my life have I wasted peeling stuff off? Oh, got it. Egg pick. Right. So there it is, our little portable power bank for 12 volts and lots of watts. Right, so there it is. We've got allegedly 100% charge. So I think what I'm going to do now is see how much capacity those batteries have lost and do a load test on it. Right, I've got the A-Torch DL24 load. I've cleared its data. I'm going to draw about 3 amps out of it, I think. So yeah, let me see if I can zoom in a bit on the display. It's not ideal. I have switched the overhead bench light off, but I don't think we're quite getting the gist of that, are we? Yeah, it's all a bit difficult to see anyway. I've set it for 3 amps. I've cleared the cumulative data. We're going to switch on, leave it to run, and it should give us our capacity in milliampere hours at the end of it. So there we go, 3 amps flowing, about 40 watts. We need to come back in a bit.
Many hours later.
Yeah, reasonable results from last night's load test. So these batteries are supposed to be 10 ampere hour, just short of each. We showed what, 17 ampere hours, so a little bit down on capacity. I don't suppose they were fully charged, however. I am just charging the box back up, but that's more than enough capacity as I'm going to need for my little project. So yeah, really pleased with that. I have cut some close cell foam here. Close cell or closed cell? Let me know in the comments. Just to hold all that in place to stop it rattling around. And yeah, that's just the job now. So that is a neat little power bank. Yeah, so that is going to enable me to take my next little project on a little bit. But we're going to wait until next week to show you that one. Yeah, what else could we use it for? Powering ham radio gear is my main interest, really. So I've got a good high capacity power bank in a reasonably compact form. So if I want to take my radio up a hill somewhere and operate from a location up a hill, I can do that. For you people that are your preppers, those of you that are convinced your ham radio is going to be essential in the event of the zombie apocalypse, again, ideal. Obviously you can be completely off grid with this thing, so yeah, I'm pleased as punch for that. Commercial ones are available. I didn't have that kind of money, I have seen, well, these sort of exist in this form for the audio industry, which is why we're using a 4-pin XLR and this nitric connector. I happen to love these speak-on connectors. They're so robust and just wonderful and good for 25 amps. So yeah, people use these for location sound recording and things like that. And they are a fortune. You can spend a fortune on it. Those second-hand batteries, they cost me 20 quid each. I'd hate to think what they are new, but I thought that was reasonable. The case I paid £8 for on eBay. The Supnova I think was £11. Now there's several variants of the Supnova battery monitor, and I couldn't find a definitive way to program this, so I've sort of messed about with it until it looks about right. So yeah, I'm not sure that's calibrated right, but there's a version with a colour display on it that looks much better, and you can find a manual for that online, which would help in setting it up. But all I'm interested in is the voltage. I want to stop at about 11 volts. I think you can safely take these down to about 10.5, but you're onto hiding to nothing at that point. So yeah, I'm going to stop using it when it gets to around about 11 volts. And when I did the discharge test yesterday, that's where I told the load to stop. Anyway, there you go. On with the next project. Thank you very much for watching. Click like, subscribe, do all that rubbish, and I'll see you really soon here on Doz's Television Workshop. Cheers now. Bye.
With a gentle hand, he brings them back in line. Every twist and turn makes the magic shine. Cathodes and the crackle of the tubes amidst the dust. They play nostalgic tunes, solder smoke, and the faint aroma of time in each repair. An art that's so prime. Where wires twist and spark, fix the picture, bring back color in the dark. Screens that buzz, it's magic on display. Old TVs revived in a brand new way. Circuit woes, but we're getting closer. Neon signs, they guide you to the door. Tubes and screens like you've never seen before. Pulses hum as sparks begin to fly. In this tiny shop, dreams are set too high. With a touch of love, your picture's clear and true. In Doz's hands, pixels flicker back to life and stand. Microchips and vintage heart in a world of screens playing their parts. Circuit boards with stories to untangle. Every wire a promise as an angle. With steady hands as Dottie bends the light through the lens, creating onyx nights. Oscillators creating sonic waves, bringing back the charm of retro days. Capacitors and resistors. In Doz's touch, there's no misfire. Transistors dance to the rhythm of repair. Through the glow, feels like magic fills the air. Voltage pulses, the tune's melodic run. A symphony of sparks where the work is never done. In Doz's